welcome. You're watching NewsX. I'm Megha Sharma and welcome to all of you to the special series which is Ayodhya on NewsX, where our initiative is to bring all aspects of Lord Ram from all parts of the country and from across the globe. This is an episode which is the episode number 6, the Grand Hindu Temples of the World. I am joined by the leaders, temple priests and members of the management and administration of some of the most famous and well-renowned Hindu temples from across the world. From Germany, from Africa, United Kingdom, Canada, USA and many other countries. We speak to them and ask them about the mega festivities that are taking place in their temples across the globe with the Hindu diaspora on this mega occasion of the Ayodhya Ram Temple consecration ceremony. Let's start off this conversation. I'm going to quickly invite all my guests on the telecast with me. I have with me Vilvanathan Krishnamurthy. He is the executive committee member of the Sri Ganesha Hindu Temple. He is joining me live from Berlin in Germany. I have with me Praful Jog. He is a leader of the Francistown Hindu Temple. He is joining me from Botswana in Africa. I have with me Umesh Chandra Sharma. He is the chairperson of the Board of Trustees of the Hindu Temple Trust. He joins me from London, United Kingdom. I have with me Pandit Roopnath Sharma. He is the spiritual leader and priest. He joins me live from Mississauga in Canada. I also have with me Viral Desai. He is from BAPS North America, New Jersey in USA. Nipa Patel also on the telecast with me. She is also associated with BAPS UK and Europe, and she also joins me from London in United Kingdom. Welcome all of you in this special telecast, Ayodhya on NewsX and the Grand Hindu Temples of the World. I start my conversation with Vilvanathan Krishnamurthy. He is the executive committee member of Sri Ganesha Hindu Temple. Good to have you, sir, on the telecast. You're joining us live from Berlin in Germany. And of course, my first question being, how are the mega celebrations surrounding the Ayodhya Ram Temple consecration ceremony taking place in your temple, in your area with the Hindu diaspora?
Jai Shri Ram. Today, on the 22nd of January, we are celebrating putting 1008 diyas in the temple. We invited more than 1,500 people, and also the ambassador of India is also attending the function there. And we are celebrating with usual celebrations in Berlin.
Absolutely. How long ago did the celebration start? What is the kind of enthusiasm that you, the temple management, the trust, as well as the Hindus living in Germany, in Berlin have?
Since 3 months, we are started our celebrations program. And finally, we come to the conclusion, but because it is one of the biggest function in Germany and for the inaugurations of our Lord Sri Ram in Ayodhya, and we would like to take the part as a part of that in the temple celebrations.
Absolutely. Now, the Ganesh Hindu Temple in Berlin is the biggest, the largest, the most renowned Hindu temple in the entire Germany. Are there more members of the Hindu diaspora from Germany or perhaps even from the neighboring parts of Europe who throng your temple?
Sure, ma'am. That is because we are not only for concluded only for the Berlin or Germany. We are also invited from the East European side, where there is no temple in East European side, from Poland, from Czech Republic, and also other countries, which is other part of the Eastern European countries, are joining on 22nd January to celebrate this great function, which our dreams come to true.
Now, if you could also shed light into your journey, how long ago did you come to Berlin? And what is it that attracted you to become a founder member in a bid to commission the work to build the temple and finally seeing completion last year?
Ma'am, I am since last 50 years in Germany because we came as a technicians at the time in 1974, and still 50 years we are living in the Germany. We are retired, and our wish was, because our thinking was go back to India again and there to start our life before. But now our children are grown up and married over here, and we want to do for our next generations. This temple is dedicated to the young generations who are coming now, and for the second generations and further generations who is living in the Germany, for everybody who looks a chance to meet our ritual and our temple to visit. There are a lot of people are coming from Poland, Czech Republic, and also Ungarn, and also Kiev. I mean, Ukraine people also came over here to join with us and to have their ritual way, and the things which they are giving are missed in their home countries.
Talking about the Hindu diaspora in Berlin, how strong is the Hindu community in your city?
In last 10 years, it has become double. Now, in the Berlin itself, we are having more than 29,000 people living in Berlin. All over the German, it is more than 250,000 people are living in Germany. So you can imagine before 20 years, it was only half. Now, within last 10 years, it has been doubled due to our honorable prime ministers and prime minister of Germany made a mutual agreement. So there are a lot of students, IT specialists are coming over here, and they are looking their own families to be a ritual way. So this temple is dedicated to them.
Absolutely. When we talk about Hinduism, the largest temple in Germany has been set up by you, has been founded by you. What is the perception that Europeans, Germans have of Hinduism?
They are very liking, ma'am, because the German are very much interested about Indology, which they will call the religions, which Indian religions and also other religions attached. Lot of scholars came to India, they studied and they written a lot of books over here. And the Germans are very eager because we are the people who live peacefully in the country. We never had a struggle with any other religion, and we are never had a struggle with any political way that we are doing. But we are the people who live in harmony with the other part of the country, and we are respecting all the religious days there. And the Germans likes us more and more because our functions which have been attending also more than 30 to 40% will be the Germans.
That's interesting. You say 30 to 40% of the people who trickle into the temple are actually German nationals. So that's interesting. Also, then does this also reflect on the kind of curiosity that Germans and Europeans overall have relating to Hinduism? They want to know more about Hinduism. They want to know our customs, our deities, how the pujas, prayers are performed.
They are very liking our structure, ma'am. That is because which the place has given from the German government as a lease for 85 years. You can imagine in the middle of the center of the park, they were given to build the temple because they would like to have a peaceful other religion celebrations should be going on in between the centers of the heart of the Berlin city, and they are very much interested about doing all those things because nowadays yoga and meditation is becoming a passion in Germany. Everybody is living or trying to live in our own older way of life. Means in bio and other less of chemicals and everything, because these things have been taught in Ayurveda. Now they are liking us more and more and connecting with us, and they are having a good opinion about Indian community which is living in the Germany, and everybody Germans also liking our culture, dance, music and everything.
Also, I wanted to understand, have there been opportunities or proposals that have been put up, and is there depiction of Ramayana by way of dance performances, by way of theatrical performances that perhaps take place in Germany?
Sure, ma'am. We had already the lot of pieces from Ramayana and Mahabharata taken as a dance because we are also running the classical classical dancers also are here in the Berlin. They came from India, and the students who are here and Germans are learning the dances, and they are performing also the Ramayana part or Mahabharata part of, because of the stories which is more interested to the German society. They would like to have that things. You can imagine the Berlin is one of the place where eager from center of the Europe is, and they are liking very much about that one.
Right. Now also, the larger question about Hinduism And there is this kind of a perception, I think a false narrative that is being built across the globe, that Hinduism is being looked upon as a religion which is not in sync with other religions. Or we talk about the Ram Rajya, which talks about how Lord Ram at one point of time ruled the entire Indian subcontinent. And it is being taken in a wrong context by particularly the politicians in depicting Ram as a tool by certain other politicians to play the communal card and a populist card in favor of Hindus to get the votes. How far do you think this perception is true?
It is sad to hear, ma'am, because religion is entirely different from politics. But nowadays, the politicians are utilizing this as their own getting the vote bank. But it is unfortunate for because the Hindus never fought any war against any religion throughout the world, because in between them they had a lot of struggle and everything. But we never had any quarrel or any war against any other religion which is at the other place, because we are giving everyone sarvono sukhino bhavantu. That is our main intention, and that is our Vasudeva Kutumbam. We are feeling that all belongs to us when we respect the other religion persons, and they will also respect us, ma'am. That is the reason why the Hinduism in Germany, really, they are very much interested, and we never had a political struggle in Germany about Hinduism. There are more people, some people are there, they are talking against to that one. But what is happening in India, really it is bad to us, because our unity is not shown up. Because we want the people unite the Hindu, which before 500 years we lost our temple. Now it is coming true. I mean, our dream is coming true to install our own temple, which has been before 500 years we lost it. Because you can imagine how much people are eagerly waiting on 22nd January in Ayodhya. The Sri Ramji will be is already insulated, but the Kumbhabhishekam will be done as per the Agama Shastra and Veda Shastra, and we are very eager. But it is true, there are some people are there using this one as a trump card against vote banking.
Thank you so much, Vilvanathan Krishnamurthy, for joining me on the telecast, joining from Berlin. And congratulations to you, the Hindu diaspora, your trust, your management for the mega consecration ceremony, a big celebration, an occasion to rejoice for Hindus across the globe, for the birthplace of Lord Ram, where the temple has been constructed, and finally the Pran Pratishtha ceremony will take place. In fact, joining me also on the telecast is Praful Jog, who is the leader of the Francistown Hindu Temple, and he's joining me live from Botswana in Africa. And to talk a little about the Hindu temples in Botswana, there are around 5 major temples, and out of which the largest is the ISKCON Gaborone Krishna Balaram Mandir. They are involved in spreading the message of Hinduism within Botswana. Good to have you on the telecast with us. And of course, my first question about the kind of celebratory atmosphere that is taking place in Ayodhya, has it been replicated in Botswana and at the temple that you preside at?
Jai Shri Ram to all the panelists and to the entire nation. Interestingly, there is a lot of excitement ever since the date for the Pran Pratishtha has been announced by the temple trust in Ayodhya, and all the major temples, as you mentioned, there are 5 of them, are going to have it throughout the day celebrations, commencing at 8:30 in the morning with aartis and bhajans and discourse, and then in the evening there will be some havans, and it will accumulate with Mahaprasad in the evening. So each and every temple that you have just mentioned, that is the ISKCON temple in Gaborone, the Hindu temple in Gaborone also. There's the Bap Swaminarayan temple in Gaborone, the Francistown Hindu Society temple, which I'm part of. And there's one in Maun, which is in the Okavango Delta region. and there's another one nearby here, which is Celebi Piquay. And wherever there is no temple, the people are going to get together in a community hall and conduct prayers. So it's really a very, very excitement filled atmosphere that we are going to experience, say, commencing today, being today is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So over the period of 4 days, there's a lot of activity that is going to take place in the entire country of Botswana.
That's interesting. You talk about the Hindu diaspora in Botswana, but what about the natives? What about the locals? Are they equally intrigued by what is happening in Ayodhya? Are they aware of the consecration ceremony? Have they been made aware by way of propagation, by way of promotions? Obviously, like you said, the 4 days are full of festivities, which are then going to culminate on 22nd when the actual consecration ceremony happens.
You know, the local community is involved on a small basis, because the awareness is not as much as maybe in Germany or in Canada or United States. Because you must remember that Botswana is not a large community, as Dr. Krishnamurti has said. We might be a community of maybe 10, 12,000 Hindus in Botswana, and with whatever little resources we have, we try our best to get the locals involved. There's a program here from the schools which do bring students to the Hindu temple and other religious places of worship to enlighten them on what other religions represent and what they stand for. So at this moment, there's not a lot of local participation because of lack of information, but it is there to a certain extent. Yes, it is.
Okay, and you talk about the 4-day festivities. Is there going to be a Deepotsav, like you said, in the temples in Botswana or in the temples across the African continent? Are you also, is there a large community of Hindu temple priests, trusts across Africa that works in tandem to celebrate such occasions?
Well, we don't work in tandem as such, but each one does their own celebrations, and throughout Africa, definitely there will be celebrations. We have a large Indian community in the East African region of Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. South Africa is another country which has a lot of Hindus that have been there for over 100 years. So they all have their part to play in the Pran Pratishtha ceremonies, which are going to be on the 22nd. Of course, there will be a Deepotsav on the 22nd in the evening to mark the return of Lord Shri Ram to Ayodhya ji. And there will be a lot of events to mark the occasion.
The Indian missions set up across the globe have decided to put up LED screens to showcase and telecast the live visuals, the ceremonies that take place on the 22nd, when the Pran Pratishtha ceremony is going to be taking place and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to carry out the Pran Pratishtha ceremony. Is something similar being done by the temple trusts in Botswana and other parts of Africa? Also, has the Indian mission contacted temple trusts and the Hindu diaspora to spread the message?
Well, I'm sure the High Commission of India has been in touch with the temples in Gabron, and definitely the High Commission of India does grace the occasion, and the entire mission staff will be there, and definitely there will be screens that will put up for the general public to view. One of the things that is on the program, I'm very sure of that.
Now, what is the perception of the locals, of the Africans to the Hindu religion? How do they view Hinduism as?
Well, they know that we are a religion of peace, and as Dr. Krishnamurti has said, we don't interfere with other people. We welcome them all. So they are quite intrigued with the Hindu religion, and they are quite interested in our festivals like Deepavali, Navratri, which are larger festivals, and they do attend these festivals to get an insight of what exactly is done and how it is celebrated and what is the significance of these festivals. So I can safely say that yes, the people are very much interested in our religion, and they do wish to get an insight into it, and the awareness is spreading.
Absolutely. Talking about Hinduism and Sanatan Dharma and the very concept and ethos of our religion, where we witness people of all faiths, of all religions, whether it is the Hindus, the Muslims, the Jews, a very vibrant Parsi community that lives in India. There is the advent of Jainism, of Sikhism, of Buddhism that have all emanated out of India. Can Hinduism be touted as a religion of peace and be the leading light for the rest of the world?
Well, it definitely can be touted as that. There is no doubt about it. Nobody can say that we are an aggressive religion. We have been very peaceful over the last thousands of years, and I don't recall reading anywhere that we went out and attacked any other civilization. So definitely we are a religion of peace, and as such it would remain for time immortal.
Do you also feel that there seems to be the kind of perception that is being created across the globe, particularly increased incidence of Hindu phobia? When we take a look at whether we take a look at the subcontinent in Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Pakistan, where a number of Hindus are attacked, they are killed, there are temples that are desecrated and destroyed, our religious scriptures are desecrated and destroyed. And something similar is also being witnessed in Northern America or in Europe, in certain parts of Europe. Why do you think this kind of narrative is being built against Hindus?
Well, basically, I would say it's fear of the unknown. I think people fail to understand the basics of Hinduism, and also it's the negative publicity that has been put out by the political parties all over the world. So it's not only social targeting, but I think it's also religious targeting that is taking place. And we have witnessed incidents in Canada, United States of America, and even Australia. And for that matter, it's not foreign nationals that are attacking. It's our own people that are trying to damage our own temples. If you look at Australia and United States, it's the Sikh community that is involved in doing that, which is very unfortunate. So we don't really know what exactly is the issue, whether it's political, it's social, but it's
more
there.
More than the Sikh community, these are the Khalistani terrorists who are maligning the name of the Sikh community in carrying out such attacks on Hindus and Hindu temples.
Absolutely.
Okay. And now do you also feel when there are these massive temples that are built across the globe? There is this Abu Dhabi temple that is soon going to be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Or we talk about the Baptist temples. We talk about the temple that you are part of. Is there then with a large number of temples being constructed across the globe, with large number of Indians and Hindus particularly who are spread out as diaspora across the globe, doing well, being extremely successful, being a tolerant, mindful community, understanding of the Hindu religion is becoming stronger and stronger for the people across the globe.
It is, yes. It is becoming much stronger. And also, it is worth noting that the Hindu temples that are being across the globe are not only a place of worship, but also of tourism. There's a lot of tourists that go out to these big temples, especially the BAPS temples and others across the world. And if you look at, say, Akshardham, for example, in New Delhi, or you look at the Baptist temple in New Jersey, New York, or in Atlanta, and in England as well. You find a lot of foreign nationals that visit the temple just to have a look at the architecture and learn more and more about the Hindu culture. So it's not only restricted to the Hindu diaspora, but also to the rest of the world who wants to know more and more about Hinduism. And there are a lot of people that are taking up to Hinduism in the foreign lands.
Quickly, one more question, sir, before I let you go. About when we talk about Mecca and Medina and the symbolism that it holds for the Muslims across the globe, or we talk about the Vatican for the Christians, or we talk about the Temple of Solomon for the Jews. Now, these are world-renowned places of worship, which are globally renowned. People recognize them, people revere them. Something similar was until now non-existent for the Hindu community. And therefore, as important it is for the Ram temple in Ayodhya to be built, which is the birthplace of Lord Ram, one of the most celebrated, revered deities in Hindu religion, it is also symbolic for the religion of Hindus, the Hinduism religion, to be then recognized by the globe. Up until now, we still did not have that one place, that one religious site that would be called by the rest of the world for this is the holy site, this is the sacred site of the Hindus.
So the building of the Ram Mandir is going to fill that void. It is going to attract people from across the world. See, I was reading the other day that the Ayodhya ji is expecting 3 lakh devotees a day. You can imagine how immense economy is going to be churned out with that many people coming. And then it will definitely be one of the places of worship for Hindus till such time that we build the others that we are always talking about. You see. So this is one place which the Hindus will identify with, being the birthplace of Sri Ram, and it is going to meet all those expectations that you are talking about that have been met by the places of worship for the other religions. So definitely in the near future, we will see that Ayodhya ji is going to become a center of attraction for world over.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Praful Jog, for joining us on the telecast from Botswana. And let me quickly introduce Mr. Umesh Chandra Sharma. He is the chairperson of the Board of Trustees of the Hindu Temple Trust. He is joining us live from London in United Kingdom. The Hindu Temple Trust is the governing body of the Sri Ram Mandir, South Hall, which is the oldest Hindu temple in the United Kingdom. It was founded in 1965. The Sri Ram Mandir organizes one of London's biggest community events on Krishna Janmasthani every year since 2001. Mr. Sharma recently visited Ayodhya and he also witnessed the construction of the Grand Ram temple there. The Sri Ram temple is also decked up with lights at this time of the year as it gears up to celebrate the Pran Pratishtha ceremony on 22nd of January. Very good to have you, Mr. Umesh Chandra Sharma, with us. And of course, you know, grand celebrations in Ayodhya, in the country and across the globe as well. How is your temple trust celebrating the event?
Jai Shri Ram to all your viewers. We in London, as you have already given the background of Shri Ram Mandir, this is one of the temple where all the temple look into how we organize and how we, give instruction to other temple. There are about 300 temples in UK at the moment, and Hindu Council UK is a umbrella body. They are all affiliated to Hindu Council UK. So all the temples, the news we are getting is, celebrations are taking at every temple under their own management committee. We are not instructing anybody. Everybody is, having their own plans. But as far as in Sri Ram Mandir, there is 3 days program starting from 20th, where there will be all day Preeti Bhoj. Best thing is all these Preeti Bhoj for 3 days, they have been organized by youngsters. When people say youngsters are not taking interest, in religious activities, come to London. You will see people have taken holidays for these 3 days just to be there and to celebrate and to serve. And it will be thousands of people, right from 10 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock. There will be feast of, prasad. And that also give chance to other communities to find out what's happening. And Ram Mandir has been always be a place where interfaith activities take place. You talk about Khalistan and other undesirable activities. We celebrated Guru Nanak Dev Ji's 550th birthday in Shri Ram Mandir, where 28 gurdwaras from across UK took place. And these kind of activities, they send a message of harmony and brothership. So
Absolutely.
these
Absolutely.
people, they will not dare to come near Ram Mandir, to deface it or to have damage it, because the respect we are giving them, and we are getting back the respect. Similarly, we are taking part in all the activities, whether even if it is Eid or anything, we join in when they open their fast, and we go to churches. And I think this is the best way
Yeah.
to
Also, then, Umesh, do you think holding such a grand ceremony of at a scale as is the consecration ceremony in Ayodhya at the Ram temple, has this ignited curiosity and the kind of consciousness across the globe of what Hinduism is all about and how Ramayana and Lord Ram are intrinsic to the way of life for Hindus?
Hinduism is always been a religion who teaches us to go on righteous path. Righteous path is not to damage anybody, not to speak. When people come to our temples, all these white people, they learn about it. First thing I say, we never react to reactions, criticisms, or somebody say bad words about us. We try to find out from where they are coming. We never use fatwas. You haven't seen any fatwa issued from any mandir, oh, because such and such people have said something, go and kill them. No, either we teach them why we are coming from there, or if there is anything to learn, we learn and modify our religion.
Yeah.
Because Hinduism is not something we have to go from Vedas or anything. It is daily life, as one of the previous speakers said. If you come and go to the figures, there is 0.1% of Hindus who are at the moment in UK jails. You can see from there that we are law-abiding
Yeah.
people. We are
Also,
people.
if you, Umesh, if you could tell us about your experience when you recently visited Ayodhya and you actually witnessed the construction of the Ram temple. How was that moment so important and integral in your life?
I'm so lucky that we are seeing Ram Mandir being built now, because when I visited Ajodhya temple at that time, that was in 2019, I was crying because although it was a VIP entrance or whatever, but we were still in a cage-like thing. There were fences all across the way when we visited, and Ram Lala's Murti was, my God, many yards away, hard to even see. So at that time, I felt that we are in India, and still these restrictions are there. And then I paid tribute to the system where, look, we didn't hesitate, or we didn't, in haste done anything. We gone through all the process, and when Supreme Court looking at all the facts and figures, and then they decided, yes, there was a temple place here, and now temple being built. So I have seen that sad part, and now I am feeling very happy as well that uh, right thing has taken place, and Hindu across the world they are having, mandir, which was right overdue.
Is there also a deepening interest of people across the globe who are not Hindus to know more about Hinduism, to know more about Sanatan Dharma? And does the grand Ayodhya temple in Ram temple in Ayodhya also help in igniting interest of the world of what Hinduism is?
Definitely, definitely. We celebrate, the Ram Navami Diwali in House of Commons at Prime Minister's residence in 10 Downing Street, in Trafalgar Square, in City of London, in House of Lords. I mean, Hinduism in UK is part and parcel. Sometimes, even I get, surprised if we miss anything. Our, colleagues go, by, guest, they tell us, oh, you missed that. So you can see how far, Hinduism is gone into our culture, and most of the UK citizen, they widely respect Hinduism, and they are changing their habits more and more into what our religion say, because as I said earlier on, our religion always teach us go on righteous path. That's what's
Absolutely.
happening.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Umesh ji, also, now that Ayodhya is being rebuilt virtually as the city of Lord Ram, and we also have Kashi, we have Mathura, now where these three deities, the Trinity comes together. We talk about Krishna, and we talk about Lord Ram, and we talk about Shiva. Can it become a global religious and spiritual destination for people across the globe to visit India?
Well, there are two things. One is visiting. Some people visit, as previous was said, on tourism basis, and one is on religious basis. So religious base was already there, but now people can also come from the angle that we have had a good time, also religious time, because connectivity and easiness by with the opening of airports and improving roads and also railways, people can book from here, from London, when they want to go. They no need to go in India and do anything. People are booking from here, and they are having very, very easy time. So that way, definitely more and more people will go, whether they go religiously or whether they want to just go and see it. So when they
Absolutely.
go and see it, that will
Absolutely.
also impress them, and they will be more connected to our religion.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Umesh Chandra Sharma, for joining us and sharing your views on this mega occasion. Now I get on the telecast, spiritual leader and practicing Hindu priest at Ram Mandir in Mississauga in Canada. Pandit Roopnath Sharma, he is the president of the Hindu Federation, an umbrella body that represents Hindu temples and related organizations in Canada. He looks after Mississauga Ram Temple, which is one of Canada's leading temples, providing exceptional quality service in the form of spiritual guidance and cultural preservation. It is registered as a charitable organization for over 18 years. Thank you very much, Pandit Roopnath Sharma, for joining us on the telecast. And of course, my first question to you, a very obvious question about the celebrations of the Ayodhya Ram Mandir consecration, and how are you celebrating it in Mississauga in Canada?
In Canada, I can say that it is very crucial. It's a great reminder of our heritage, and it sends a significant message that there is a renaissance or resurrection of Hindu Dharma in India, and it's like a beacon to the world that yes, Hinduism is finally being recognized and we are reclaiming our heritage.
Have you seen a glimpse of the photos and the videos of the Ram Mandir that are being released on a regular basis as the countdown to the consecration ceremony nears? And how do you feel? And are there any special plans for the Pran Pratishtha ceremony in Mississauga at the temple?
I've seen glimpses of the activities in the pre-construction, construction, and some of the plans for the celebration. They're all very exciting. It's very motivating. It brings a feeling of warmth and comfort to know that this is actually happening. We at the Ram Mandir have a special event. Well, for 2 days, on the 21st, we have a 4-hour program from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on the 22nd in the evening from 6 until 9 p.m. at the Ram Mandir. But all of the members of the Hindu Federation, which is a conglomerate body representing Hindu temples across Canada, will be having some celebrations. We are considering this to be a second Diwali, or the first Diwali of 2024, when Rama returns to Ayodhya, or the message of Rama returns to Ayodhya. So Hindus are very excited. People are being encouraged to light diyas in their homes and in their outside of their homes. And at Ram Mandir, there'll be special decorations outside to celebrate the occasion. So all in all, there's a lot of excitement and a lot of warm feeling about this happening. I've seen.
You are also the priest at the Ram Mandir in Mississauga. You are attending to a large Hindu community there. If you could shed more light about the temple, when was it built?
This mandir was constructed, was opened officially in the year 2000. And it was built or put together by people from all over the world who are Hindus, from every geographic reference, who live in Canada. And it was through community support, charitable donations, and hard work and effort by individuals who were willing to do that. There was a planning committee, which I was the head of, a founding membership that I'm also the founder of this temple. But there are many who were involved in the initial stage to make this a reality. The temple existed in a simple unit prior to that, an industrial unit, for many years, and then we were able to progress to buying land and then to build this structure. It was designed with ancient design in mind and very simplistic and very cost effective. We have approximately 18,000 square feet of floor space, which includes the mandir area and then other areas for other social activities. But it is a place where Hindus from all over the world come. It is not a particular group of, like you would have a Gujarati mandir, a Punjabi mandir, or a Marathi mandir. It's a Hindu mandir. And as I mentioned, the devotees are from all over the world. And the mandir is open 7 days a week, approximately 15 hours a day, from 7:30 a.m. in the morning until 9 p.m. There are special programs on Monday, Tuesdays, Fridays, evenings, and of course, at Sunday from 10 to 12. There's Aarti done 3 times a day. There's 7:30 in the morning, and then Ram Aarti every day at lunchtime, and in the evening time at 8 p.m. And on Sundays, there's special programs. All of the parbs are celebrated. All of the religious occasions are celebrated in the mandir. Although it's a Ram mandir, we have the murtis of other deities present in the mandir: Krishna, Bhagwan, Shivji, Hanumanji, Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, and others.
Now, the temple has connected a community of over 3,000 Hindu families in the area. If you could tell us more about the temple that was developed into a place of spiritual guidance for all.
There is always a need for people when we leave our home country to get connected spiritually and culturally. The mandir has become a hub for people to gather, especially seniors and young people who are searching for their identity. This is the place for them to help to reconnect back. And for seniors, it is a place to stay connected. And for the general population, it's a gathering place. It's a place where we congregate for our spiritual needs, for our social, and even for the economic needs, where there's guidance, because we do guidance counseling, and we do new immigrant support. We look after the needy. We prepare bhojan for the seniors. So these are the kind of activities that has brought people to gather together and making this a hub of human interaction, human beings are known to be gregarious beings. We need to interact at all times. And the mandir is that kind of a place. It is a place for meeting, greeting, and reconnecting. It continues to serve this need since the beginning and continues to do it extensively since Canada is now the home of many, many new immigrants from India of the Hindu tradition.
Where all does the temple attract tourists from and worshippers from? What do those who visit the temple say about their experience?
Well, it's a long line of comments. I would say very positive. People feel a feeling of serenity, feeling of upliftment, feeling of calm. They feel the peace and tranquility of a place of worship and a sacred place, a place where they can reconnect, a place where they feel at home, a place where they find those who they can relate with and who shares a common thought, common belief, and a common approach to relating to God. All of those comments have come. Of course, there's the comments about the physical appearance. That is a beautiful building, and it represents Hinduism in all its form. And that it is, because it's a Ram Mandir, it stands out in the eyes, and those who are seeking for a place. Who, if you're a foreigner coming to Canada, and you do a search on any of the search engines, and you type in Ram Mandir, Mississauga Ram Mandir will pop up. So to the foreigner, it is an icon to connect to. To the resident, it is a place to be home. To the visitor, it is a place to visit and to take away good memories, photographic and otherwise. So all of these things it presents to the general Hindu and non-Hindu population.
How does the temple promote the teachings of Hinduism through its daily activities?
Every aspect of the activities in the mandir is a teaching methodology. All of our programs are presented in modern day technology that whenever we have sermons, all of the mantras are projected on screens, overhead screens. The mantras are written either in Sanskrit and Hindi and also in English so that the entire gathering can read and repeat. The lecturing is done. Ramcharitmanas and Bhagavad Gita are the common texts that are used. And all the other texts, we read them in their text language, Sanskrit and Hindi, and everything is translated again in English. And all of the message is delivered in English as I'm speaking to you. This makes it very easy for people to gravitate towards learning, because many of the people here in Canada, Hindus who are first generation, second generation, third generation, and even fourth generation outside of India, whereby the common language is English. So we are here to disseminate knowledge, and we do that through practicing and promoting the rituals, promoting and practicing all of the major events like Diwali, Ram Navami, Navaratri, Janmashtami, and so on. And there are gatherings when these events occur in the thousands, and people gather and come to the mandir literally for 15 hours a day. So there is a great collection of information here available. By coming, one can just gravitate towards what is happening because it's simply presented in a way whereby everyone can understand and everyone can appreciate.
How do you feel the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya can bring the seekers of spirituality across the globe closer together?
Well, it is becoming the universal icon of Hinduism. When you think of Ramcharitmanas, the sacred book that we call the Ramayana, it tells the story of the Lord incarnate. And we always read and identified Ayodhya as the place where this happened. But today, to have a shrine consecrated whereby this is the Bhumi, this is the place, this is the birthplace of the Divine Lord when he took form, it is a great way to bring Hindus together, to let them feel that we are suddenly recognized, regardless of the history where we were dominated by foreign powers for close to 1200 or 1400 years. Hinduism has still survived, and these reclaiming of our heritage are significant to the future growth and the future existence of Hinduism throughout the world.
Absolutely. Now we see, a lot of footfall when it comes to religious tourism to Vatican, to Mecca, Medina, to Jerusalem. Can the religious tourism potential to Ayodhya and to other parts of our country can be unlocked now with this mega celebration taking place?
I think the potential is beyond anyone's imagination. I've had the opportunity to visit India, and I believe that a lot more can be done to create heritage sites and to redevelop the heritage sites and to spend more money to make them a place that all Hindus can be proud of and all people of the world will want to go and see, like any other place that people go to see. And Ayodhya will definitely become a place to visit in the hearts of Hindus and non-Hindus because of what it represents.
Thank you so much, Pandit Roopnath Sharma, for joining us on the telecast from Canada. Now, up next is Viral Desai from BAPS North America. BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha is a spiritual, volunteer-driven fellowship dedicated to improving the society through individual growth by fostering the Hindu values of faith, service and global harmony. Thank you so much, Viral, for joining us on the telecast. Of course, my first question about what do you make of these grand celebrations that are taking place at Ram Mandir in Ayodhya? The consecration ceremony is going to happen in just a couple of days from now. What is its impact for Hindus across the globe?
Well, when we talk about crucial, I think, in the Ram Mandir, one word comes to my mind, and it's Shraddha, faith. And it's the prayers, the pratna, the penance, or the tap that many devotees across the globe have gone through for the last hundreds of years, and now Bhagwan has answered. And so that the Ram Mandir is testament of faith. I mean, I also say that every religious person should be able to worship or pray to their Bhagwan or deities in a place that they feel the most importance to. And Ayodhya is that place. And Ayodhya is of course the Ram Janmabhoomi of Ram Janmabhoomi, and it's the birthplace of Ram Bhagwan. And so ideally, that just fits perfectly to have the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. And this place is not only historical, but it's spiritual. And what better place to have the Ram Mandir than Ayodhya?
Viral, now, everybody across the globe, especially the Hindu community, the devout, have had a glimpse of these visuals that are pouring in from Ayodhya right from the time that it was being constructed, and now it is nearing completion. The pictures of the deity, the Ram Lala idol, have also been put out on social media. How do you feel about it now that you have taken a look at it?
Well, it's that smile, and in every person that you see, even here, when you talk to anybody, it's the energy, the eyes, the joy that everyone feels. And, it's a global celebration. And so something that comes in my mind is, when Ram Bhagwan returned from exile, imagine the environment then. Imagine the joy, imagine the festivities that was going on. And I think similarly, this is what I feel when I see these pictures, and it's amazing to see the festive mood, the colors, the flowers. And something else that when I was reading the stories, the history of making the mandir, the soil, about 2,500 region soils have been put in the foundations. The holy waters of India have also been put into the foundation. Each brick that has been laid has inscribed with the word Sri Ram. And that also reminds me of in 1989, Pramukh Swami Maharaj performed the first pujan of the first Sri Ram Shila in 1989. So, this goes back, and obviously seeing these pictures kind of reconnects you and kind of puts you into that place of where the Ram Mandir is going to happen, and the carvings that are going to be inside the pillars that depicting Ramayana, the epic stories of Ram Bhagwan, and the overall structure as we've seen in the pictures, the pink stone and the highlights of the ancient structure of the mandirs, and so I think it's amazing, and it's just exciting to see the festivities happening, but also see it in the pictures is one thing, but also learning the history at the same time has been amazing.
Also, the kind of interest and excitement that people have, not just in India, but in New Jersey and in America and the rest of the world, about Ram Mandir amongst the Hindu community, particularly in North America. If you could tell us, our viewers, about it.
Well, as I mentioned, this is a global excitement, a global joy that's happening, and North America is definitely one of the places that you still see the same excitement. I was talking to my uncle just the other couple weeks ago, and I was thinking, "Hey, have you been to the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya?" And his eyes just lit up, and he was so excited to tell me that, "Hey, many years ago I did go to Ayodhya. I did see it took me a while. The roads were really difficult to get to, and then when he finally get for darshan for Ram Bhagwan's murti there, he saw the small tent or the housing where Ram Bhagwan is. But now that he knows this Ram Mandir is coming, he's excited. He's like, oh, finally we have a huge mandir that Ram Bhagwan can finally reside in. And so that joy that I see in my uncle, I see it in every other individual that I talk to about or that we mention. And that's one thing, but the youth. So it's one thing that the adults may have been in India and they've traveled here to North America, but the youth are taking part in dramas, performing the epic stories of Ramayana, and getting connected into this celebration and the Ram Mandir inauguration. And just the other day, I had a friend from Georgia was driving down the freeway. There's a billboard that says, inviting people to join the Ram Bhagwan inauguration. That was in Georgia and then New Jersey. And then New York Times Square, Manhattan, in the central of the busy millions of visitors throughout the day. You have this huge banner that's flying across that talks about the Ram Mandir inauguration coming up. And so that excitement is from one end to North America to the other end, north, south, west, east. You see it. And then the people are getting in their cars and getting excited, waving flags, and that joy is throughout North America, from the young to the old. And so it's exciting to see this happen, even here in North America, even though we are thousands of miles away from Ayodhya.
Now, Viral, you represent the Bap Swami Narayan temple in North America, which is the largest in the world. If you could tell us more about the temple, when was its foundation laid, how long did it take to build it, and when was it inaugurated?
So as you mentioned, yes, the BAPS Swaminarayan Akshardham was just recently inaugurated in October of 2023 by His Holiness Mahant Swami Maharaj, which is our spiritual guru currently. But not only him, but many spiritual leaders took part in this inauguration that came from all over the world. And when we talk about the largest, I think that's just a description. And I think the largest has nothing to do with it, but it's the values. It's the invitation of everyone to be able to come visit the mandir and then see the intricate carvings. And every stone says a story about seva and bhakti, the selfless service, the devotion that everyone has put together. And you may have read stories of 12,500 volunteers from different age groups have come and spent time to build the mandir. And so any visitor that visits the mandir, they are welcome with open arms, with a huge 49 feet murti of Nilkantvarni, welcoming each visitor with open arms. They cross body of a water, what we call Brahmakund, which has waters from all around the world, including India. So that representation of the ancient history of India is also present here at the BAPS Swaminarayan Akshardham. And then as you walk closer to the mandir, you'll see universal values from Hinduism, our Hindu scriptures, but also universal values from leaders of our world, of the era, such as Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King. And so those universal values of harmony, unity, inclusion is also depicted within their visits of BAPS Swaminarayan Akshardham. So as I mentioned, the size is one thing, but that has, I think, the values, the teaching, the message that individuals take when they visit the BAPS Swaminarayan Akshardham is far much more grand than the numbers of 185 acres, 10,000 statues, and then the shrines. As you walk inside the mandir, there's 12 different shrines inside the mandir. People are able to offer prayers to Bhagwan Swaminarayan, Bhagwan Shri Tripati Balaji, Bhagwan Shiv and Parvati Ji, Bhagwan Shri Ram and Sita Ji, Hanumanji, Bhagwan Shri Krishna and Radha Ji. And speaking of Ram Bhagwan inside the mandir, during the inauguration, the Swami Govindev Giriji Maharaj was also present during the Pratishta of the Sri Ram Bhagwan Murti inside the Akshardham. So you see that this is a place not just for Hindus, but it's a place that everyone in North America, around the world, comes and experiences ancient culture, ancient architecture here in North America. So it has been amazing to have this place of worship, and then it's been amazing to see and share our culture within the community, but also be proud of what we have here in North America.
How does the Baptist Temple promote the teachings of Hinduism through its daily activities?
That's a great question. And I think, it's like, besides just putting a plaque up and putting the message up and people reading it, I think it goes far more in any of the BAPS mandirs that you visit here in North America. And I think it goes back from 1970s. Pramukh Swami Maharaj first came to North America. Since then, that vision and today, Mahant Swami Maharaj's vision carries on through these mandirs to share the spirituality, but our culture, our traditions, and our timeless values, as you mentioned. And so the mandirs, people continue to visit, but they get to experience the true architecture of ancient culture of our history of our India, but also participate in rituals like Aarti, Abhishek, Thal, and by participating, they're taking in our values and learning about our rituals. And that's what brings the harmony. By teaching our culture away from home and learning about each other is what basically counts in as the inclusiveness. And so the mandirs itself, but there's also spiritual discourses. Throughout the year, throughout the weekend, every weekend, people can participate in discourses to learn about our Hindu values. Recently, we had a series on YouTube actually set up as Timeless Hindu Wisdom. And it's small, bite-sized learnings and teachings that our children and our youth can learn and learn these ancient scriptures from these discourses, but also participate by engaging in classes to practice these and learn these moral stories of our Hindu culture and our history. And the festivals, of course, that is one great way that people also participate and love. And of course, Diwali is obviously the biggest grand festivals. And then at the mandirs, you'll see fireworks. You'll see people come together, offer food. Families will have a time to rejoice. Shivratri, Janmashtami. So all of these celebrations will be grandly put together to continue to share with our culture, with other Hindus, but also the American community. And then, of course, promoting the meditations and the yogas. So there's many, many avenues that these activities carry on throughout these mandirs. And I think that was Pramukh Swami Maharaj's vision in 1970s, and 50 years later today, that continues to strive and continues to grow and continues to bring the harmony within the community.
How does the temple bring the Hindu community together in North America?
Yeah, so it's actually working together. It's that unity. Mahant Swami Maharaj uses a key word, says samp, which equals out to unity. It's working together. It's helping each other, not just in times of celebration, but also in times of needs. So when there's a disaster, the community not only helps the Indian community, the Hindu community, but the overall community within the area to house as shelters during disasters. For example, in Houston, when we had this hurricane flood, the people were out of homes. They were not able to get electricity, but the mandirs opened their doors. They were able to come and participate in staying as a shelter, but also be able to get warm food during those times. So that's one way of giving back to the community, but also teaching others to be better citizens of the community. And so since that 1970s, the Hindu festivals have been celebrated in the mandirs, but also has kept its doors open and open for just the community, not just for the Hindu community, but for everyone. And so that is the key thing, is the unity, the harmony, the love, and the peace and the shanti that everybody feels when they do visit the mandir. And so I think that's the key thing, is just working with each other and helping each other.
How do you feel the Ram temple in Ayodhya can bring Hindus across the globe come closer?
Well, I think we're already close together. As we said, there's a global celebration. There's billions of Hindus, as we know, around the world, and they're all connected. And they're connected by their traditions, their values, their peace, their nonviolence, the ahimsa. They're connected because this Ayodhya place is a place of pilgrimage. And as a pilgrimage, as a sacred site, sacred city, a holy city, the Ram Mandir only connects us even further. And as I mentioned, my uncle, what he had said, and many years ago when he went to the Ram Mandir and to do darshan of Ram Bhagwan, it was a smaller house, smaller place where the Ram Mandir, Ram Bhagwan's murti was inside. And now to have this huge mandir, architecturally dating back thousands of years, in the birthplace of Ram Bhagwan, I think it brings us together, but also the city. I think what I've seen in the pictures and read this, the reshaping of the streets, the openness, the access to individuals to be able to access Ayodhya, but also the Ram Mandir will kind of help each other come together and probably make a journey together to visit the Ram Mandir for darshan, to worship, and to obviously to pray.
Do you also look forward to visiting the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya in the coming times? And are there any plans that you and the Hindu community that you are attached with are planning to do the same?
Well, of course. I mean, that is something that is definitely on the top of my list. And in the past, as I mentioned, the roads were tough, a little bit hard to get to. And now that you hear these roads have been opened up, and the excitement of this mandir being there, and of course in our digital world, you feel even more connected with continuously getting fed with the information and the mandir pictures, as you mentioned, the photos, and of course it is one of probably the most beautiful religious sites for Hindus to visit, but for everyone to kind of take part in. And I think it becomes a place of pilgrimage. And of course, I think this, in my next visit, hopefully, is my plan to visit Ayodhya and do darshan at the Ram Mandir and Ram Bhagwan's.
What is your message and the message of the Baptist Temple ahead of the historic Pran Pratishtha ceremony?
Well, this history of BAPS, the Gurus Yogiji Maharaj, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, Mahant Swami Maharaj today have been connected since the 1950s and 60s to even today in the 2000s and 2024 in participating in the steps of this Ram Mandir. But I think the message here is about a little bit more than Shraddha. It's about selfless service. It's about culture or Sanskriti. And of course, Ram Bhagwan's kingdom was a place of moral and satya or honesty. And it's about teaching our future generation and receiving these blessings and imbibing these things within their lives. And so the universal message again comes down to the unity, harmony, faith, and peace. And it's spreading the Sanatana Dharma and its value, not just for today, for generations to come. And so I think the prayers of thousands of individuals have been answered by Bhagwan. And so this Pran Pratishtha is not only going to be attended in person from BAPS Swamis, but also throughout the global centers of BAPS Mandirs. There will be celebrations happening, participating in the Pran Pratishtha at the Mandir, having many individuals come from across the cities, but across the community to participate in the Pran Pratishtha. But also, Mahant Swami Maharaj has also encouraged everyone to celebrate inside their homes. So, as we mentioned, Diwali, this is a feeling of Diwali. This is feeling of celebration. And so that is what the message is participating in the Pran Pratishtha, but also carrying on our Sanatana Dharma and the values of harmony, faith, and peace.
Thank you so much, Viral, for joining us from New Jersey, BAPS Swaminarayan Temple. And I'm also right now being joined by Nipa Patel. She also belongs to the BAPS Swaminarayan Temple. This is in London, and Nipa has been involved with the BAPS Mandir in London for quite some time now. Today she joins us, and let's quickly ask her the question, the most important one, the cruciality of the Pran Pratishtha ceremony in Ayodhya at the Lord Ram Temple, and how are the celebrations looking like at the BAPS Temple in London?
Of worship that fosters harmony and brings our shared values together, irrespective of faith, it can only be a good thing. And the inauguration, the pratishtha of the Ram Mandir at the birthplace of Sri Ramchandra Bhagwan, that holds huge cultural and religious significance for all Hindus across the globe. It's a long-awaited aspiration, and I think that the happiness for this upcoming pratishtha is huge, and it's hugely felt globally. And I think any event that brings joy is wonderful, but a historic occasion like this, which unifies and brings so many people together to joyously celebrate, that's quite remarkable. And I think that positive energy, that happiness, it's quite palpable. I mean, everywhere. I think it's a unique occasion, and I can only imagine. The atmosphere in India must be absolutely amazing. We can all feel it here. So.
Now, there are a number of these pictures and videos of the Ram Temple during the time that it was being constructed and the near completion of the construction are now circulating on social media. Have you had the opportunity to take a look at them, and how do you feel?
Yes, I think in this digital age with social media, it's a little hard to miss. But for me personally, apart from the grandeur of the mandir, what I have really enjoyed is experiencing the darshan of construction, or, for example, the way the flagpoles are made, or most recently the ornate dhol. And I think learning about these things and having darshan of these things through other people's eyes, it's almost as if the Ram Mandir is unifying us in that way as well. So that's something that has touched me on this journey.
You also represent the BAPS Swaminarayan Mandir in United Kingdom. If you could tell us more about the temple.
So the BAPS Mandir here in London, and you may know this, is popularly known as the Neasden Temple. And it was the first traditional stone temple to be built outside India when it was inaugurated by His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj in 1995. And, with inspiration from Pramukh Swami Maharaj and guidance, it's built on a foundation of devotion and dedication of over 3,000 volunteers, and was completed in just under 3 years. So it was at the time, nearly 30 years ago now, it was quite remarkable. And I'll just share a few things, because I think, the history of any mandir is always, quite sort of interesting and various things. But there are a couple of things which I'd like to share. And I think, as I said, it was the first of its kind. And when, the exterior of the mandir is Bulgarian limestone, the interior is made of Italian marble and Indian marble. And it's a massive jigsaw. So it's built to strict principles of Vastu Shastra. And it's a jigsaw puzzle of over 26,000 pieces, carved pieces of marble. and limestone, and weighing from 50 grams, just 50 grams, all the way to 5,000 kilograms. So it's it's quite a feat in itself. But I think, and it's in the past, it's been said to be the mandir that was made in India and built in London. And I think that's wonderful because it's about bridging cultures. It's about bringing cultures together. So I think that, that's something that really touches people. And Pramukh Swami Maharaj was very clear in that a mandir is not simply a place of worship. It stands to serve the community. And Neasden Temple, over its 30-year history has, with the guidance from the resident swamis and dedication from the devotees and volunteers, it has become a pillar of the community here in London and the UK.
How does the temple promote the teachings of Hinduism through its daily activities?
So the mandir is our spiritual home, and I feel quite privileged to be able to say that. And it's rooted in Sanatan Dharma. And so through weekly assemblies, we have age group assemblies every week. A mandir is there, to celebrate festivals, to teach others about our festivals and our culture. And we also have schools visiting. We have over 500 schools a year and now, with the digital age, we're also able to do online tours and online, tours where schools can learn about Hinduism and learn about Sanatan Dharma. So there are various ways in which the teachings of Hinduism are shared, not just with Hindus, but the wider community here in the UK.
How does the temple bring the Hindu community together in Europe? So
in Europe, in the United Kingdom, apart from Neasden Temple, we have over 30 smaller mandirs and centres. And in Europe, we currently have over 15 centres and mandirs. And most notably, you ask how it brings the Hindu community together. And the BAPS mandir in Paris, the construction is about to start this year. And, that has been a long-awaited mandir in Europe. And it's going to bring the community together. It's actually going to be built in Bussy Saint-Georges on the Esplanade des Religions in Paris. And it's where, there's a synagogue, there's a Buddhist temple there. So the mandir is part of that community. And it's, again, living in harmony with each other, respecting each other. So, that's the way mandirs can come together and bring the community together. But again, like I said, it's also about bringing the wider community together.
Okay. Now, how do you feel the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya will bring together the seekers of spirituality from across the globe?
As I said, mandirs are our spiritual homes, and with guidance from our teachings and respected gurus, they nurture us to be better people. They nurture us to respect one another, and to come together, irrespective of whether you practice a faith or have no faith. I think we all aspire to imbibe the same values in our lives, to be kind, to work together, to help those in need. And I think the Ram Mandir has already unified millions of people across the globe. So, I'm sure that it's going to do so, continue to do so for many, many generations to come. And I think you ask about, how the Ram Mandir will bring seekers of spirituality. I think any place of worship that teaches us these values, will bring people in to do darshan, to learn, even if it's just out of curiosity. They'll have that time when they arrive and they have the darshan. So that's, I think it'll do that for many, many generations to come.
Do you also look forward to, along with your family, visiting the Ram temple in Ayodhya once it's fully constructed?
So, yeah, funny you should ask that actually, because just last week I was talking to my parents in India, and I was saying that, we really need to organize our long-awaited yatra to Chappaya. Chappaya is the birthplace of Bhagwan Swaminarayan, and it's not far from Ayodhya. And Bhagwan Swaminarayan frequently visited Ayodhya and went for darshan there during his childhood. So, I said to my father, I said, really want to take the children. So yes, absolutely. It's now all the more reason to do that much sooner rather than later. So yes, it's definitely something that we will be doing. We will be making a yatra to Ayodhya.
What is the message of the Baps temple ahead of the historic Pran Pratishtha ceremony that takes place in Ayodhya?
So BAPS has a long history with the Ram Mandir, and successive gurus from Yogiji Maharaj to Pramukh Swami Maharaj, who also performed the Sri Ram Sheela Pujan in 1989, and now Mahant Swami Maharaj, they have all prayed for and supported the mandir. And Guru Hari Mahant Swami Maharaj, when conveying his blessings, shared the sentiments that the establishment of this Ram Mandir, will spread the spiritual values of unity, friendship, and harmony worldwide. So I personally feel, and I think we can feel it all around us. I feel truly blessed that I'm going to be able to experience this pratishtha, and in some way be a part of it, and that my children will be able to witness it, and all my friends and family. And we're having huge celebration here at all the BAPS mandirs in UK and Europe. So I do feel very blessed that we will be able to be witness to this historic and momentous occasion.
Thank you, Nipa Patel, for joining us on the telecast. Well, on that note, I come to the end of episode 6 of Ayodhya on NewsX, the grand Hindu temples of the world. Do log on to newsx.com, also on NewsX YouTube, to leave your comments on how you enjoyed and give us feedback on this special telecast.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.